Hi, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with us for the next 1 hour. We have Mr. Jan Wong and Mr. Wei Yan with us today. So I hope everyone is in a good mood now. And yeah, let's celebrate towards this wonderful weekend night. So alright, first of all, let's do some humble introductions about myself. I'm your moderator today. I'm AB Boon, the digital marketer of Vechnology. So what is about Vechnology? We are the first vending machine producer in Southeast Asia, and we aim to build sustainable ecosystem in vending industry. So a productive Saturday can perfect your week even greater. So for everyone, whether you are anxious about many things or busy or some things with your business, let's just relax your thought, stay with us, and spend a little time in this life. Rest assured, this sharing will bring you a new and value-adding insight. Why? Because we have these two panelists with us today. So even we are physically apart, I still can sense the excitement from our panelists. So before I get them to introduce themselves to all the fans of Jan or Wei Yan or maybe myself, just say hello, hi to us, and then we know that you are with us and everything is good. Okay? Great. Okay. Yeah, I can see the hello coming in from you guys. So, meaning everything is fine. Okay. All right. Good evening to our panelists. Welcome. We have Mr. Jan Wong and Mr. Wei Yan. Yeah, it's good to have you all for the next 1 hour. You know what? I have to tell you guys that you guys are really amazing. When I go through your guys' profile, there are huge of long list. So now let's have an introduction about yourself before we go into today's topic. Let's get started with Jan Wong first, who's playing multiple roles as a founder and online strategist of OpenMinds. Okay, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia, a tech speaker, a youth advocate, a serial entrepreneur, and academic advisory board members for several institutions. So Jan, the time is yours.
Sure. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jan. I don't know what else to say about myself because Abby has so kindly introduced me already. Anyway, I'm the founder of OpenMinds. We are a marketing technology company based in 3 countries, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Singapore. And we've been around for the past 8 years, consulting hundreds of brands within the region, helping them understand technology and how they can bring technology into their business and to help them make better use of whatever that they're investing on so that it make the right return of investment. Recently, I've managed to finish writing a book. I've launched a book campaign on digital branding for individuals and businesses. So if you're interested, feel free to connect with me, look me up. I'll be more than happy to share more with you. Ryan, next to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think today we will learn a lot from you. Yeah. So next, welcome Wei Yan, aka the man with a luggage, the co-founder and chief business officer of Vechnology. Welcome, Wei Yan.
Hello, everybody. Yes, as Abby have already introduced, my name is Wei Yan. I'm the co-founder and chief business officer at Vechnology. I call myself the man with the luggage because I practically live with just one luggage for the past 5 years already. So I spent the past years, traveling across Southeast Asia, working as a digital nomad for the companies in Southeast Asia. Especially from Singapore. I've been helping them with digital marketing, and I spent some time with Draper Startup House in Yangon. Some time with a tech startup called 360 ED, which is based out of NASA. And recently, I spent some time also with a smart recycling solution company from Myanmar. And now I'm with Vechnology. I'm all very much excited to bring Vechnology to, outside of Malaysia, hopefully to South Korea, to Brunei Darussalam, all the way from Malaysia to United States. Who knows? I'm very excited to be joined by Jan today, and we will love to talk more about what's going to happen in post-COVID-19 business landscape. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the introductions. So without delaying the time, the topics that we are going to discuss this evening is discovering the breakthrough strategies for post-COVID-19 and how the new normal has been practiced in your business. So, all right, for those who are listening, if you have any question throughout the section, please just leave us a comment and we will spend a little time in answering the question in the end of discussion. So, let's get with the first question. Maybe this first question, I can just directly point to our guest speaker. So, Jan, we understand that 2020 has been a great challenge to everyone. The same to nationwide business owners and entrepreneurs. So can you share with us the industry landscape, especially the harsh reality about COVID-19 on how has it affected the economy and industry today? Yeah, Jen.
Sure. Well, we're starting off with a very deep question already, huh? But it's a very good question. I think all of us that have experienced in the past 3 to 4 months, the first half of 2020 just went by with a blink with an eye, right? I think a lot of us don't even recall actually really living 2020, and now we are already in the second half of the year. So insane, so crazy, so much have happened. At the same time, so little has happened in a lot of businesses. I'm sure if we take a look around, we notice quite a number of things happening, not just from an economic point of view, but even for businesses around the world. We have seen huge brands really letting go of people, terminating contracts, closing down outlets. Brands have been around for decades are actually downsizing like nobody's business. Tech startups have been doing so well, raising so much money, also in the heat right now, having to be forced to a corner to let go of people, trying to help their team members go through this transition period between jobs and all that. I think generally, if you look at different companies, many companies across different sectors are severely affected. And there's a huge misconception here as well. I find that many people think that the tech businesses are doing well. After all, we have the perception that a lot of us are using more tech, which is true, spending more time on social media, which is also true, spending more money on e-commerce, which is also true. However, if you look at tech businesses alone, even tech businesses are not spared. Some people come to me and say, hey, Jen, you're in the digital consultancy business, you must be doing very well right now with many companies trying to understand where they are at. To be honest, not really. We have also experienced our fair share of companies of existing clients or prospects falling out and saying that, hey, let's hold on for a bit, let's put the contract on hold. So digital companies are also not spared. And I think this stems from very basic circumstances, right? Where first and foremost, from a consumer level, we see a change of shopping behavior, we see a change of purchase decisions, we see ourselves staying at home a little bit more. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I go out, when I see a crowd somewhere, I automatically start thinking, whether should I just walk around them, should I walk through them? Even going out isn't the same anymore, including how we interact and communicate with one another. What more from a business perspective, many businesses are also very more cautious in spending. I think a lot of us know that digital can help, or technology can help elevate us from certain circumstances that we are in, but at the same time, many of us are also playing the defensive strategy. We're trying to keep our costs low. We are trying to be very conscious with our spending. Every cent that goes out, we're asking, hey, if I'm going to spend on Facebook ads, am I going to get the return? And if I'm going to invest in this technology, will it really help me? Am I spending my money wisely? All these questions actually come by. And even if we talk about e-commerce, the whole impulse buying aspect of e-commerce has also seen a decline, right? Many of us are spending e-commerce on essential items, things that can immediately help us, things like fashion, the good to have are actually also shrinking because we are not so much inclined towards impulse buying as we were pre-COVID COVID-19. This means that it's not just a change in economy with a shift of businesses, but also in terms of combination between businesses and consumers. I think these two together has really impacted economies worldwide.
Yeah, wonderful. Hey, if I may add something here, because like you said, I don't know about you guys, right? Because it also affected the same to us. A lot of people told us, oh, you guys are building vending machines, right? I mean, vending machines offer this contactless, dispensing a customer experience for everybody out there. They said, oh, you must be doing well, but actually it's not, because hey, what you said is true. It's not just about the business. It's also about the consumers, right? The people are super afraid to go out within this period, and it actually affected our business in a huge and massive way. And I cannot deny the fact that we have to strive in a very lean way. And I mean, I have to thank to my co-founders. I mean, they have been bootstrapping the company since the very very start. So we're super lean on spending anything. Yeah, great.
Yeah, great. So let's go to the second question. So actually, how can we actually overcome the current challenges during the RMCO? Maybe we can also look into the technology aspect.
Sure. Jen, do you want to take this or?
You can go ahead. I mean, you are very much at the center of technology right now. Maybe you can lead this.
Oh, okay. Well, what I've seen in Malaysia is that, well, I mean, I myself is not in Malaysia right now because, well, I came back to Myanmar to issue my entrepreneur pass, and everything just happened. And I mean, my co-founders were with me in Myanmar for like 11 days, and they went back already, but I got stuck in here forever, right? I mean, I feel like it's forever. Although the technology is around, how do we overcome is a main fundamental point of view, because I feel like this has to do with the people with themselves, right? Because it's I mean, when it comes down to how do we overcome this whole crisis, what really matters the most is you and what your team is really doing, right? So as of Vechnology, we're practicing social distancing at work. We actually distributed our team members back to the home. Our marketing team is working from their home. Sales team is also in KL. I myself, who is doing fundraising and international business expansion, also back in Myanmar. But the thing is, hey, the business still keep on going. But I've learned from my friends' businesses, right? And what they're seeing is, although the news out there are super bad, Victoria's Secret are they're declaring bankruptcy. They've been closing down at tens of thousands of stores worldwide, and this somehow give them a headache. Oh, what if this thing really affects us that bad, and we have to close down our business? Hey, I'm very frank here. We also had to think about it at some point, even for Vechnology, right? Our co-founders were sometimes we'll just talk and sometimes be depressed. They say, hey, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. But like we always say, I'm pretty sure we're gonna overcome this. I'm pretty sure the brighter days are coming. I'm pretty sure the funds are coming. I'm pretty sure the customers are going to pay us very soon, right? All of these things. So I'll talk from like this technology point of view. How do we do that? We took advantage of all the available resources, out there. Like we're using. I mean, right now we're using StreamYard to broadcast the whole conveying knowledge to the broader audience, right? And we also use Google Hangouts and Zoom in a company to communicate with each other. We use WhatsApp. It's for easier communication. WhatsApp, Telegram, and also Slack for better communications. And I know that a lot of my team members are taking on the courses. They just enroll. I mean, the digital marketing people are enrolling the digital marketing courses, and they are equipping themselves with a lot of new skills. Hey, I myself is equipping with e-fintech skills, right? So I don't know. In 6 months' time, in 1 year time, I will be equipping Vechnology with, I don't know, a new e-wallet, maybe VE wallet. Hey, this is just a trailer. Maybe we'll do it, maybe we'll not. Who knows? What about you, Jen?
Well, I like the fact that you brought up the whole people aspect, because to me, overcoming with technology or the usage of technology is just half of the equation when you look at, right? Because we need to understand that for technology to actually work, the people aspect needs to come in. There needs to be actually a shift of mindset first in the level of being able to accept the use of technology in our businesses before technology can actually help you overcome whatever business challenges you're facing. Because if not, it's going to be a classic example of you being tech illiterate, and then somebody gives you the latest technology into your hands, with AI and big data and faster processing, and it's a breakthrough technology, and in your hands, you just can't navigate. You just don't understand, right? It's almost likened to a situation where I'm going to give you the latest smartphone, the iPhone 11 or whatever, placed in the hands of maybe your great grandmother, right? And she's going to look at it and she doesn't know what to do with a piece of glass in her hands. So technology is an aspect, but first and foremost, it's the people and the mindset that comes to it. And that's what I would like to talk a little bit more, because I feel that the challenge here is not about the lack of technology out there. I think us going through this season of COVID is a huge blessing for individuals and businesses alike. You imagine COVID happening maybe like 20 years ago, right? There's no social media, no Netflix, no WhatsApp, no TikTok, nothing. And you're just going to rely on emails and ICQ Messenger and MSN. I think all of us will probably go crazy, right? We'll be stuck at home for 2 months. We can't go out. We can't see faces. There's no entertainment. I think we go crazy. But at this time and age, we are blessed with so many different forms of technology, from a consumer point of view, for entertainment and communication, for companies to allow business operations to still function through different communication tools, right? Like Zoom, and then some of them pivot into webinars like this. There's some of them also take this opportunity to go on e-commerce, and all these tools are readily available. But it all starts with whether you as a company, a business owner, or someone within the company that has made that decision that, hey, it's time for us to do this and let's take this seriously. The main challenge here is that businesses tend to complicate this whole digitization and technology. I find there's always these two extreme ends of people. One end, they oversimplify things, which is the examples I gave earlier. Yeah, just install a tool and it will work out. At the other end of the spectrum, they're also the bunch that complicates it. They say, oh, if I'm going to digitize it, we're going to need a lot of money. The budget needs to be huge. We need everybody to be tech literate. We need to be a big company. We need to have an internal IT team. We need to have this. We need to have that. Hey, to overcome this particular season with technology, it really does not need to be complex at all. You don't need to spend so much money. I mean, think about it. There's so many free tools out there that you can actually tap on. I always give this analogy when I talk about this whole digital transformation or digital adoption kind of topic, right? I believe that if a fish stall uncle that operates from a wet market can use technology to sell fish, every other businesses out there can find room for technology to work for their businesses. I mean, who in the world imagine that you can actually sell fresh produce from a market using your phone and people will actually buy, and you can actually create a sustainable business from there? 20 years ago, it's impossible, but today it is. So it really comes down to how you see technology to assist you in your business. And again, it does not need to be complex. You just need to find small pockets of areas that can be digitized. For example, it could be automating a process. It could be optimizing, putting a tool in to shorten certain communication. It could be accessibility, for you to reach new markets, for you to reach new target audiences. Or it could be discoverability, to help you to be more searchable, for people to be more aware of your brand. It could be for branding, it could be for marketing, it could be for anything, even education. For us at OpenMinds, we also use this opportunity to bring one of our passion in education and to bring it to life, right? I mean, in my introduction earlier, I talked about OpenMinds being a consultancy company, and the result of us running in the past 8 years gave us a lot of insights within the industry. That's all stored within our database, our knowledge bank. And within this period of time, when Malaysia went through MCO, the Movement Control Order, we decided that, hey, is it possible to convert all our knowledge, our expertise into basically sessions that we can share with others? And that's where we launched our own mobile learning app called the Open Academy, right? And through it, we recorded videos of everything that we know, put it in and distributed it online. So even for us, we are able to find different methods to translate part of the business to bring it into technology. You don't need to complicate it. Just start small by finding one area to start off with in your business.
So like just to summarize, right? I feel like it's not about the technology, because I mean, like, technology is all around us, right? I mean, you're right. I mean, it's very good analogy that you put on this uncle who is selling fish from the wet market, right? Who can use a mobile app or anything. And I truly believe that we have to leverage our mindset. And it's, if it is for the better use, hey, use it for a better use with a little bit of technology, and you will see the digital transformation, even in your family. I don't know, you know, if your son is studying in Australia and stuck in there, what do? You know, instead of you know, instead of you going to his graduation, I mean, he cannot even go to his university to get graduated right now. That even the graduation is going virtual. Like, this is amazing. I mean, we can see it as a best negative. I mean, as a negative point of view. But hey, you know, it's just a shift of mindset, right? I mean, let's look at it as an opportunity and take it as a lesson to, you know, overcome and learn for the best.
Exactly. Plus, a lot of these tools are offered free anyway right now. A lot of companies are subsidizing costs, giving it up for free. Tools that we used to pay, you know, hundreds of dollars every month, now they are going for free. So do take advantage of that. Like you said, it does not need to be complex.
Yeah, great. I wonder what's the next question. I'm super excited now.
Yes. As Wei Yan said, we can overcome this. Yes, and I totally agree with Jen that the shift of mindset first before the technology can actually help us to break through the crisis. Yeah. So, the next question. Do you foresee what are the industry or businesses that will doing well during the current challenges? I think our audience would like to hear from Wei Yan first.
Yeah. Hey, before this, I was actually going through research papers from Colliers International, and I found that they have published a paper called 12 Industry Channels Expected to Grow in the Post-COVID-19. And, you know, guess what? Number one is e-commerce. I feel like, you know, this is the same thing as a dot-com bubble, you know, 2003 SARS pandemic, the same thing, you know. Yeah, I mean, because of the people cannot go, I mean, don't want to go out and buy the things anymore. They will love to browse the stuff online, right? I mean, it would be so great if you could just order, I don't know, like a tray of eggs for your breakfast online, right? I mean, it is already happening, and that's why maybe it's because of that. It's on the top level, and I find it's quite interesting that AR company and VR company are going in the list. It's on like number 9 or 10. Education is on the list too. And I also see this IoT and cloud computing companies are on the top list. So I found that, hey, you know, Jan, you're doing this digital consultancy, right? You're dealing with a lot of maybe, you know, like big companies, small and medium enterprise companies, and telling them, you know, how to equip the tools. I don't know, you know, how to, you know, grow the audiences, you know, using the right mindset and all that. I'm pretty sure your industry is also the right industry to grow after COVID-19. And I also am very happy to see that IoT industry is also growing, you know, after COVID-19. So yay for Vechnology, right? You know, hey, I'm happy that, you know, like, now that we're doing this contactless vending machines, right? And I see these people are now contacting us more and more, more than ever, right? Before. Because I mean, one thing, no cash. I mean, it's true that COVID-19 cannot be spread out by the cash, because I mean, we've already seen a research paper that was just a phobia of the people, right? But yeah, we're using e-wallets, right? So, and then we're somehow contributing back towards the fostering the cashless technology in Southeast Asia too. And you know, like, customers are saying, you know, hey, it's great that we don't have to carry around cash anymore. It's a tedious job, right? We can just pay with our e-wallet and, you know, dispense the products right away. It's fantastic. So I mean, aside from that, let's talk about the e-commerce, right? And e-commerce. I wanna see I want to get insights from you too, right? How this e-commerce is. I mean, e-commerce has been there forever, right now. I mean, since the dot-com bubble. I want to see. I want to learn about your insights. You know, how this e-commerce is going to change. Is it going to change, or is it just going to attract more people? I mean, what do you think?
I think it's going to be both. I think attraction is already happening. I mean, attraction has to start first anyway, right? Because that's where you get the mass of people coming. It's very interesting, and I totally agree with you that I'm not surprised that e-commerce is the first one on the list, because it's a no-brainer. If you look at expenditure right now, especially throughout this particular lockdown season, e-commerce is the only way where transaction can actually take place. And this entire situation has forced what used to be a millennial and Gen Z way of transaction and buying stuff now has shifted up to even encompass the Gen Xers and the boomers, right? Because they themselves are stuck at home. They themselves requires to buy some of these necessities online, and there's no other way to do it. I mean, from the very basic way of not being able to navigate through just WhatsApp, right now they're placing orders through GrabFood. Right, and then I'm hearing stories from my friends of them teaching their parents how to transfer money, or download the different mobile wallets, helping them to verify themselves, introducing them to Lazada, Shopee, introducing them the whole world of e-commerce, and these people are going crazy on it. Right, and the interesting part is that you talk about a research paper. Now, I was also going through some research paper prior to this, and what I found was that there was a research showing that a lot of these activities, these newfound behaviors during this season, namely e-commerce, up to 70% of consumers will actually retain these habits. This means that if 7 out of 10 people that have experienced the convenience of e-commerce in purchasing, when going through the whole fulfillment part of e-commerce, would actually continuously use e-commerce. And the whole e-wallet example that you've given just now, I mean, to be honest, I'm really amazed at how the whole e-wallet scene, right? Before this, they kind of had to beg everybody, please come and sign up. They're giving all these vouchers and trying to do user acquisition. But through this season, everyone kind of automatically just subscribed to it because it became necessity. And guess what? When people are hooked and they have learned the convenience of all these different forms of technology, automatically they will want to stay with it. Automatically, they build a behavior to say, this isn't too bad. It isn't too complicated. On top of that, I'm also looking at different countries, the government of different countries, helping businesses to go on e-commerce. Right, so they're doing two things. For example, in Malaysia, they're giving some sort of incentive to the consumers that buy stuff on e-commerce. At the same time, they're working with all the different e-commerce providers and e-wallet providers to lower the barrier of entry for small, medium businesses or even micro businesses to get on into e-commerce platforms. So change of behavior plus lowering the barrier of entry to e-commerce, I think this two combination would definitely continue to push the growth of e-commerce in many, many sectors.
Yeah, and I also saw this industry which is also expected to grow post COVID-19. It's logistics, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure right, Ninja Trucks, right? They have recently raised over $200 million, right, for their Series B or C. And I was like, hey, it's amazing. During this pandemic, the VCs, the investors are willing to sit on their cash for a longer period. They don't want to. I mean, they don't usually. I mean, they would just. They wouldn't just give out the money to any like good ideas or good startups out there. I mean, we are struggling, right? We're struggling to get funded, right? We have to knock on every doors. But these guys are doing very good logistic company or are raising funds, like just in a blink. And I see this not just in Southeast Asia, especially for the countries who has the most affected cases, like the United States, Spain, Italy and China. I mean, it's all booming in those countries as the logistic companies, right? I'm also seeing, hey, I'm back in Myanmar, right? Myanmar is not a country as where all this technology are very much like equipped in. Myanmar is still in a very early stage of the tech scene, but I am seeing the logistic part is booming. I mean, shop.com.mm, it's already been acquired by Alibaba Group, and they're doing e-commerce and logistic at the same time, and they're doing perfectly well. And now you're seeing, last mile companies, food trucks. Hey, anything with like 4 wheels and carrying anything from point A to point B, they're doing super well. Any take on it? I mean, for Malaysia, do you see anything difference?
I mean, it's true. I mean, this is the time where you see all the delivery companies actually making their appearance on the streets. You see all their trucks and cars. Sometimes you don't even know that they existed, but they've been around. But guess what? These are the industries, these are the supporting industries surrounding e-commerce. And because of the e-commerce boom, these supporting industries kind of benefited or leveraged on that kind of a growth, and is expected to grow as well. But I think there's another industry that I personally think that it's also going to be have a faster recovery in terms of speed and all that, which is local travel. I would think that international travel would probably be a little bit more stagnant in the coming months or coming year or so, as many have predicted. But I would actually see local travel actually growing. I mean, a lot of countries are still on border lockdown, which is perfectly understandable. But looking at statistics across different countries, of course, excluding some countries that are still trying to cope with this entire situation, but countries that are seeing recovery are slowly opening interstate travels and allowing people to go between states. And this will open up the local traveling industry, which will definitely benefit a lot of small businesses that's surrounding it. Think about it. F&B would eventually cover, because if you're going to travel, you're going to eat, the hotel industry would be able to benefit from it, the homestays, the bread and breakfasts, and all these smaller local businesses would slowly be recover themselves and to gain a better foothold again. So it's not just all about digital. Of course, tech companies will see some sort of bigger acquisition or faster turnaround, but traditional businesses, even travel, would see the improvement in the coming months.
Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe we will see a Malaysian, version of Airbnb locally. Well, we don't know, right?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So when talk about e-commerce, I can see that it is one of the digital transformation. So maybe I can add some of my personal opinions. In my opinion, I think that the pandemic brought us a very new business environment, and we can see that the digital transformation may no longer a nice to have strategy, but it is the key to a business survival. So the next question will be, how the existing business like enterprise or micro SME involved in digital? What's your suggestion, Jan?
I think it's very similar to what I've shared right at the beginning, right? I think the SMEs and micro businesses first have to put aside the mindset that digital transformation is expensive, right? That is a flawed approach. Sure, of course, if you have unlimited budget, there are a lot of ways to scale your tech and all that. But even if you're small, there are ways to do it. Like I mentioned, it's incremental steps, right? Someone shared with me that I did this particular phrase, which I thought is very, very apt for today's session. He told me that, hey, when it comes to digital transformation, it's all about three things. It's about starting small, it's about being very goal-oriented, and you need to be able to scale fast. Now, these three things has so much truth in it, right? When we talk about starting small, again, it's about finding a need. No matter how big or how small a company is, find an area that you find either consumes a lot of cost or requires a lot of resources, or an area that you find that, hey, it's actually redundant, that you can transform and can change, and you can find ways to optimize the kind of process. Even if you are into small manufacturing and all that, out of 50 lines, you may want to start with just one line of manufacturing. If you're in a small business and you're looking at how you're able to manage your customers better, maybe that would be the first need that you want to look at. Or maybe it's branding and awareness and marketing. Maybe that is your starting point. Then moving on is to be goal-oriented. In whatever tech that you're implementing or whatever tool that you're going to invest upon, you want to know that, hey, what is the expected outcome? It's about managing your expectations as well, right? Because you need to understand that again, installing a piece of tech or adopting a particular piece of tech does not automatically give you the results that you want. Even if you're just going to put in something as simple as, let's install a chatbot to automate customer inquiries, that does not automatically means that you will bring down your cost to zero, and then you won't be able to expect immediate conversions coming from the chatbot automatically. You can just sit down there and money just coming in. So you need to set very real expectations as well, your goals. If you're going to implement this tool, what are you expecting? Are you going to expect saving costs up to 20%? Are you trying to save time in your team members? Are you trying to be able to convert better, enlarge your funnel better? Whatever it is, you need to have very, very clear goals. And then the third one is to be able to spot that achievement and to scale it quickly. So once you implemented something, it meets your expectations, you know it's working, that's where you want to double down. That's where you start asking, hey, can I put more money, or can I invest more time? Can I invest more effort? Can I invest more expertise to scale this use of tech? Can I onboard more teams? Can I put in more of my time to make this tool cover more parts of my businesses? So it's really just three things: start small, be goal-oriented, scale fast. I think that's the basic 3 steps for even micro and small businesses to get started on digital transformation.
Yep, that's true.
Right on.
I would like to add a note regarding the digital transformation. So we must put the business survival as priority. The key to it is to transform digitally. So our company, Vechnology, embraces our online activity as well. So we are currently collaborating with Shopee in order to grab more potential clients virtually. So regarding to the company transformation, Wei Yan, do you have any further information that you would like to share?
Because I actually have a lot of things to say, but because of the time, I will not just boom out. But hey, look at Myanmar, right? Like the small and medium enterprises. I'll just talk about these tea shops, right? I was super surprised to see that tea shops are going online. They now have the proper Facebook page. I have seen all of these all around the globe, but I was so surprised to see that in my country, right? Back in the times, tea is a symbol of my country. People always, gather around. I will gather around with my friends. We go to tea shop, order a cup of tea each, and we'll just talk about anything, right? But now, since we cannot go out and go to the tea shops anymore, what do? They have their online. They have the Facebook page. You can order. You can ask them to deliver at night, whatever. There are like massive amount of ways they're trying to innovate with their small businesses. And I was so surprised to see one other business, which is it's not about food or anything, right? They are basically getting the stuff like the secondhand stuff from Japan and from Thailand to sell it back in Myanmar. Like a good chairs, good bags for for medium and like low range people, right? They would love to just buy the stuff from the store. Now that they have to close down their store, what did they do? They also went virtual. They now have a Facebook page, and hey, I was so surprised to see they now even have a website. It's live. Like you can go on there and you can just click on any products. They have like multiple and thousands of products. You can just click on it and you can order it, and they will deliver right to your doorstep. And it's amazing. I'm pretty sure the people who are running those businesses are old enough, right? And not to use Facebook, not to go digital. But this COVID-19 has pushed them at some level to rethink about how they operate the business, right? And how they have to change their mindset, how they have to adapt with what's coming ahead and what's currently ongoing. And they made it, and I'm seeing a lot more coming up in post COVID-19.
So true. I think at one point of time, none of us expected that this whole social commerce, right, going live on camera, selling stuff would actually be a big thing. We know it was big in China and people are doing it, but in Malaysia, will it ever happen? But through this season, it really took off. So many companies, traditional, non-traditional, digital, non-digital, selling whatever they can find. I saw
Yeah.
people selling furniture. Of course, you have the fashion stuff, food. You still see the markets doing it. It's just so amazing what people are
Yeah.
doing digitally right now.
You can even order beers online now. I mean, the pubs are closed,
Oh
right?
yeah,
You can
yeah,
just call them and say, hey, like I want, like two glass of, I don't know, Heineken or Corona. They'll just deliver right to you. How amazing is
yeah.
it?
That's also true. Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, Wayan and Jen. So great. Ladies and gentlemen, remember if you notice in the beginning that we have an important announcement to share with you guys. Yes, Vechnology is running a very great deal for the customers on Shopee. If you like to know more, please comment PM. PM. Yes, comment PM. So our person in charge will send you more details, and let me give you a tips. The kickstart rate of vending machine with technology today is just as low as 828 ringgit Malaysia per month. Yes, it is 828 ringgit per month. So PM us now, don't miss the change. So our person in charge will contact you after it. Okay, all right. So I think it's almost come to the end of this nutritious sharing. So come to the last question for tonight. Do you think that any ultimate survival tips? Yeah, survival tips that both of you can provide to our audience before we proceed to the Q&A section? Yeah, maybe you can start from Wayan first.
All right, survival tips. There are too many, but I'm gonna just pick two. One thing, we now have realized that time is a value of money, right? And we now have plenty of time, and I'm still sad to see a lot of people are using time as just a luxury commodity. Like they're not using time wisely. But what I would suggest everybody, it doesn't just apply to business owners. It doesn't just apply to entrepreneurs. It applies to everybody out there in the world. Use time wisely, right? I mean, Coursera, edX, everywhere. You want to learn about finance. If you're a non-financial founder, or if you don't have any background in finance, go ahead and study about finance on Coursera, right? Or anywhere. You want to know more about how to build, I don't know, a garden. You could go on YouTube and learn about it, right? Now is the best time for you to equip with new skills. And for the business, I've got a next step, which is anytime, like, I mean, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur ourselves, we face negative energy from time to time. Meaning, sometimes we will come to a point where we would think, oh, tomorrow is not going to be brighter, as Jack Ma said, or as Elon Musk said, because of this COVID-19. We don't have. I mean, the cash flow is not going well. The customers are not there. I don't know who's gonna buy our product. I don't know how I'm going to pay my employees and things like that. But hey, mindset, it's a fundamental point of you to push yourself towards, right? We kept ourselves afloat. How did we do that? We just keep our heads down, telling our people that, guys, I am sure that the time is coming. I am sure that this thing is going to be over. I am sure that we can overcome this with a better strategy. Learn from the best, learn from time, learn from anywhere possible, equip yourself, and we will shine better in the post-COVID-19 period. Yeah, that's very simple, and I hope it's sufficient. Go for it, John.
Wow, so true, so true. I mean, mine is going to be very simple. I think you covered very good grounds, but all I want to say regarding survival is that it's a time where businesses should not stay still, but at the same time, don't be over ambitious. I understand the need for businesses to be cautious, to play a defensive game, but if defensive is the only game you're going to play, that is going to be very difficult for you ahead in the future, because your competitors or new competitors coming up are really trying to find the leanest way to run the company, the most cost-effective way to run the company, the most efficient way to deliver a product or service. So just staying still won't help. I mean, I've spoken to some businesses and they're saying, yeah, what to do? It's bad economy. I'm just going to wait it out. Now, waiting in this period of time is
Won't help
very,
you.
very scary. It
Yeah.
won't help you exactly, because for one thing for sure about COVID, right, is that nobody know how long this impact will last. Right? We are all crossing our fingers, waiting for the vaccine, but really there's no confirmed date. And even if the vaccine can be ready tomorrow, there's a limited amount of quantity and it needs time to be distributed. It may take years. Look at some of the other pandemics that have happened, like SARS. I know that some countries are still dealing with it, and then now we have something new. Right, so staying still won't help. You need to start moving around. You need to start experimenting, learning, exactly like what Wei Yan has said. But at the same time, don't be over ambitious. Don't over commit to things that you can't take up. Don't over commit in technology that you know that you can't benefit from fully, or you are unsure of whether a piece of technology can help. Seek advice, seek consultancy, seek somebody to kind of guide you throughout this process, because you can't stay still, but don't overspend as well. I think it's a great time for businesses that have bootstrapped to really re-harness that bootstrapping spirit, or if you're venture funded, all this while you had no issues, but right now you are in this particular situation, try to channel that inner bootstrapping spirit of you to see how you can achieve similar results in a most cost-effective way. Right? It's a great time to read up about growth hacking. It's a great time to find out what are the alternative ways you can run your business. Maybe become more hyper local. Maybe it's to diversify. Maybe it's to relook at the supply chain to see how you can do things a little bit more different and innovatively. I think this is a great time to do it. You know why? Because everybody is experimenting. You need to use this time to the fullest potential that you can as well.
You should run a course on bootstrapping. Definitely, I'll be your first
Maybe
customer.
we can, yeah. That's a thought. That's a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So now I think it's the time for Jan and Wei Yan to answer the burning question from our audience.
Great.
Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So-
Burners.
So the first question from James Law. I think it is a guy who involved in construction industry. So his question is, can digitalizations help businesses that heavily rely on workmanship, such as constructions or renovation industry? Yeah.
I think it's a great question and a very common question for traditional businesses. I think one of the biggest struggle and challenges for traditional businesses is that they're focused very much on the delivery of the service or the delivery of the product. So they will always ask, hey, I'm into manufacturing, I'm into a heavy industrial, I'm into B2B. How can digital even help me? I mean, 3D printing of a piece of sofa or 3D printing a particular house, too expensive. I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it, right? But they forget that that is just the delivery part of the business. Leading up to delivery, there's so many aspects that could potentially be digitized. For example, customer acquisition or advertising. Maybe traditionally you rely a lot on networking events. You went to trade shows, you did cold email, cold calls, and none of this is happening right now. Is there an alternative way for you to gain customer awareness? Is there a way that you can secure future sales or do online consultation via Zoom? Maybe you can actually get people to show via camera how it looks like, and then you give live consultancy via calls, or you can even go to a state where you can say, maybe right now, yes, I can't do the actual work, but maybe I can educate. Maybe you can come up with a series, an education series of how can you maximize your workspace at home, because everybody is in work from home right now, and you're into renovation. So it's a great time to be able to share your tips, get your brand, establish your brand out there to let people know that, hey, you are not just a normal construction or renovation company or an interior design company. You're a company that is actually proficient and has the right insights and knowledge. And that's how you reposition yourself, right? So this is a good time for businesses that's always focused on the delivery to reposition themselves to become somewhat like an influencer within the industry, like a key opinion leader or subject matter expert, right? To put yourself there to say, hey, look, yes, I'm a renovation company. I have all these competitors, but guess what? I don't only renovate, I educate. I teach people, I share the secrets of renovation, tell you that, look, certain things you don't need to hire me. I'm going to tell you this. This is how you can do it. This is the best optimum way. But by the way, if you want something more from me, I'm more than happy to give you a consultation. Then you can either do it for free, you can charge, that's up to you. But the whole idea here is that look beyond delivery, getting there, how digital can help you pave your way to a future delivery, or what I call a future demand. If you can shift that mindset, you'll be very surprised. There are many areas of your business can be digitized and still gives you results for your business.
Great.
I think Jen has answered to all the perspective questions coming ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Wei Yan, do you anything to add on?
Well, he has covered almost everything.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, another question, interesting question. Yeah. So how digital transformation can help company in reducing costs at the management level?
All right. Great. Hey, I'm pretty sure this has been discussed and covered by both of us during the live session, right? Once again, it's not about how the, I mean whether you should pay for something, you know, whether you should buy something to, you know, transform your business in the management level digitally. It's about your mindset, right? Let's say I mean, as I'm running the company, right? I'm going to talk about my company as an example. I mean, look around, right? I mean, you got people with different expertise. You got people from different areas, right? I mean, your team might be consist of people from Kuala Lumpur, people from Penang, people from Kedah, right? All these people brings in different perspective on how they work and how they deliver tasks to the company, right? And how do you transform it digitally? It is super simple. Hey, you know, back in the time, you work in an office, you know, face to face, very, very close to each other. You know, you can just ask somebody, you can just like poke someone and say, hey, you know, like, can you give me this report? I need it right now. But right now, I mean, you cannot do that. But there are a ton of ways, right? You can just call a person, you know, or you can just get online and, you know, call for a meeting. It's the same thing. It's just that you are not in the same office anymore, right? And hey, like the result is ultimately the same. It's the same result, right? I mean, whether you're in an office or whether you're saying that you are not innovating enough digitally, or whether you're using a lot of digital tools, hey, the result is the same. It's all about how you are going to adapt to the digital tools.
Yep. And I think it still comes back to how we talked about in identifying your needs, right? I mean, at managerial level, what exactly you're trying to solve. I mean, Ryan covered it very well in the form of communications, but if it's not communications, what else? Is it project management? Is it team collaboration? Is it about trying to track tasks of what's happening around the company? Whatever it is, right? So you need to first and foremost really break down what is it you want to solve at a managerial level. Is it reporting? Is it surveillance? Is it making sure your team members are working from 9 to 5? What is it, right? So once you're able to identify the root that you would like to solve, that's where the tools come in. That's where digital transformation or digital adoption really, really comes in, right? But it really starts with you having a very clear need in the beginning.
Correct.
Right. So, well, time is running out on us, so forgive me as I don't have all the chance to pick all the questions. Well, this is gonna be the last question that will be answered by our expert. So let's see who's the lucky one. Okay, this is a thought from Farhan Ali Omar. So he said that he has a problem with baby boomers generation. They don't trust about e-wallet. So the baby boomers, they think that the cash is still their payment of choice. Yeah, so regarding to Farhan's opinions, what's your guys think about this?
Yeah, it's just funny, right? I'm laughing because, yeah, I mean, it's funny because I was just having this conversation with a friend the other day. It's the exact same sentiment, right? He's telling me, hey, what do I do? This baby boomer generation, somehow I can't convince them, to trust e-wallet, which I think it's very, very true. But there are two schools of thought, right? I mean, for me, half of me, I believe that, look, we can't really force a piece of technology on somebody. If somebody really thinks that this device is going to self-destruct and is going to kill their entire livelihood, no matter what we say, it wouldn't convince them. However, I've also seen and experienced baby boomers that are convinced that these ways actually do improve the quality of life. The thing is that for boomers to be able to understand this technology, again, it's an incremental approach, right? They need to be able to see what is the value, what's the lowest barrier of entry for them. For some that I know, they start with as simple as using it to reload their Touch and Go, right? So they can't go to the toll booths and whatever else. So what they do, they have to download the app, they have to use it. Now, what happens? Once they have money within the app, right? Now they're at a grocery store, or they're 7-Eleven, or they're on some e-commerce platform, and this e-wallet is supported, and that's the first experience. So it's about finding out what experiences they can actually get from e-wallet for them to go through it once, and then they will see whether they will find the stickiness towards that e-wallet or not. Because if they don't have the first-hand experience, it's very difficult to convince. And we all know that the boomers have a certain personality type as well. No point pushing them something that they are absolutely convinced that it won't work for them, right? So experiential method is the best way to go.
Yeah, and the reward. I think reward also plays a huge role for them. Yeah, because as someone who originates from Myanmar, where we don't have e-wallets, e-wallets are not playing a big role in our country. But when I come to Malaysia and I see Malaysia got a lot of e-wallets, and this e-wallets is super useful. And I remember one time when we were going out for movies with my co-founders, and if you don't have e-wallet, you have to queue and pay for the movie ticket. But the movie ticket is even more expensive. But if you have an e-wallet, you can even get a movie ticket with a lower price, but some more you can get the cash back. I was mind blown by that fact. I believe that this is going to be a big factor for not only for baby boomers, but also for the whole, the whole general population. Because this is, as a human, right?
True.
We do something, we want to get something back, right? So if you're telling them, hey, I will give you more, you spend little, I'll be like, yes, I'm gonna do it. I think this is going to play a huge role.
So true. I think all comes down to the value proposition of these e-wallets and whatever technology out there. So true. Totally agree.
Yeah. Excited to see an e-wallet in Myanmar soon. An e-wallet.
Yeah, let's see that.
Yeah, so great.
Thank you so much, Jens and Wei Yan. I can say that I get so much ideas and insight from you both. And I believe the audience in front of the screen as well. So thank you. Also, thank you to the audience. Thank you for staying with us throughout the section. So if you would like to know more about our speaker, who is Jan and Wei Yan, or interested with how their company can help you go through the post-COVID-19, please just follow Jan Wong or OpenMinds resource. You can search them through website, Facebook, or LinkedIn. So same to Wei Yan, you can reach him through his Facebook page, Wei Yan, the man with a luggage, or his LinkedIn. Last but not least, remember to follow and like our page. So once again, thank you so much. So allow me to conclude tonight's discussion. I can say that the COVID-19 pandemic has wrought enormous damage to personal, social, and economic. However, but I think that by recognizing the challenges confronting the world, internalizing the lesson of the pandemic, businesses can actually deploy the tools and technologies free at their hands to adapt to the new normal practice. So all of the strategies that we had been shared tonight by our two panelists will positively respond to COVID-19. And I believe that going on to open up a new possibilities for your business. Yeah, so hang in there. We will get through this. Better times are coming. So see you guys and stay safe and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank you
everybody.
all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jen. Thank you, Abby. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.